Boy, that time flies when you're having fun. Welcome back, guys and gals. JJ here once again, schooltrade.com. Got a great trading psychology lesson for you guys today. Today I want to cover an important topic that I think most of us have already dealt with at some point, or you might just deal with this important stuff at some point in your trading career. And before I get into today's lesson, I want to remind you that in previous lessons, we talked about the difference between stress and distress. I said that stress was performance enhancing, whereas distress was the exact opposite, right? Very debilitating. Stress is the healthy reaction to having money at risk with an uncertain outcome, while distress occurs when our interpretation of that uncertainty becomes much more, right, than just the money at risk. With that said, one of the worst types of distress has to be despair, discouragement, desperation, dejection, right? Lots of different ways to kind of express that feeling of being discouraged, being desperate, right? Being in despair. Now imagine this. You decide one day you're going to be a professional trader. You work hard for a few years, riding high on the excitement of conquering the business of day trading. You read all the books, you attend all the seminars, you watch every video on YouTube, you try all the trading software, you go to all the events, but nothing seems to get you much past the break-even point in your account. Yeah, you take winning trades, you have some winning weeks, but in the end, the losses keep taking back all of those hard-earned gains, and it feels like you're stuck on one of those treadmills at the gym, right? You're on a road to nowhere. Now at this point, the rush of conquering the markets begins to wear off. It feels like you're taking one step forward and 3 steps back. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know what you're talking about, right? One of the hard parts about trading is exactly that. You're tired of consistently being wrong, tired of losing your hard-earned cash that you've sacrificed time away from your family and friends to earn in the first place. And all of a sudden, you're not excited to get to your desk in the morning each morning. Even worse, people around you start turning on you. They were once your biggest fans, and now they're rolling their eyes, right, when you tell them that you're trying to be a day trader still. In this mindset, it feels like the markets and the people around you are out to get you. And usually, it tells you it's time to give up, throw in the towel, and quit chasing this dream. Well, I've experienced this feeling of despair before. I felt discouraged. I felt desperate to make something work. I've even had the conversation with my wife, Megan, on 2 separate occasions when I was ready to give up on my dream. And even more importantly, I've helped many of my own clients deal with the very same emotions of despair and desperation. And before you cancel your data feed, before you unsubscribe from my newsletter, right, and close up your charts forever, here are some important factors I want you to consider. First, our bodies are extremely efficient at giving us signals. Hot signals, cold signals, joy signals, desperate signals. Those signals are used to guide us closer to happiness and joy and further away from pain, suffering, and danger, right? It's remarkably effective, right, for our bodies sending us signals to get us closer to good stuff and further away, right, from bad stuff. When we start to feel this sense of despair and discouragement to the point where we're ready to give up on our dreams, this is most likely your body telling you that something isn't working and it needs to be changed before you can proceed further in your trading journey. This feeling of despair is a simple way for our bodies to tell us, don't waste any more time doing it this way, find a better way. So before we give up on our dreams, here are 3 reasons why you're likely feeling like this, and I have a great strategy so you can get motivated and get back on track to becoming a successful trader. Now, first, when we feel discouraged, it's often because our vision of success is out of line with reality. We've talked about this in a few videos before. This is easy to see possible when you consider all the crap on YouTube talking about magic software and whoops, I made $1 million this year, right? Movies coming out of Hollywood where you just got to take a magic pill and all of a sudden you're brilliant, you can make money in the stock market. It seems like everybody knows what the next big breakout stock's going to be, right? Everyone besides me, that is. When you're introduced to the business of day trading with these completely unrealistic expectations, it's not a surprise that 12 months later you're feeling like you're worthless, right? You can't make it happen. You're not good enough, and you're ready to give up. As a professional trading coach who has extensive experience in these markets, right? Someone like me can help you get a better understanding of what's realistic and what's not realistic. So I would definitely encourage you to find someone that you trust before you throw in the towel on your trading. Chances are you just got roped into some unrealistic expectations at 2 o'clock in the morning on some infomercial, right, where you should have been sleeping in the first place, right? And you just need to work with someone who can show you the precise steps needed to achieve the results that you want. It's certainly attainable, but no, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to require some time and effort. Becoming a successful trader is like being successful in a lot of other things. It's not enough to know the ingredients. You have to know the combination of using those ingredients. It's like opening up a combination lock in that sense, right? So the first thing is you might have some unrealistic expectations, and I would recommend that you get with somebody who can really lay out for you a plan and a strategy that will get the job done for you. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is certainly attainable. Now, second thing, another reason why people suffer from despair is they have been successful in the past, but recently, for whatever reason, their setups just aren't working anymore. The markets that once paid them well aren't the same anymore. You know, I've experienced this many times in my career. In fact, I've had to reinvent my own personal trading strategy a number of times throughout the years to keep up with the evolution of the financial markets. Yes, the evolution of the financial market. Let's be brutally honest here. The world never stops turning. People never stop progressing. Technology never stands still. The markets never stand still. And because of that, neither can our trading businesses. You know, if you're not growing, you're dying. The only constant in this world is change. Those are just some of the most popular quotes we probably all heard about the world we live in. Yet most of us never truly embrace this environment of constant change. The markets are always changing, and we need to accept that and change with them if we want to be trading for more than a few years successfully. You know, I did a lesson on how to break a losing streak a few weeks back. I would definitely go back and watch that lesson again, right? If you haven't, I'll put the link in the text below the video on the blog. The third thing, right? Third reason for despair. In addition to having unrealistic expectations and ignoring a changing market, another reason why traders feel discouraged is because they're simply burned out from trading. Burnout occurs when we feel like we don't have enough energy or time to accomplish all the stuff we need to do to achieve our dreams. It leads to exhaustion and often leads to us making very poor decisions, such as walking away from your dreams. Now, I want to make sure I'm really clear on this. Burnout occurs when people live an unbalanced lifestyle for an extended period of time. It's important for you to understand that in such a competitive world we live in today, in order to be successful, you will need to invest the time to master what you're doing to the point where you have an edge over the other people around you. When you're learning how to trade, yes, you will need to submerge yourself in the markets, in the lifestyle, in order to develop that trader's lifestyle. Right? The trader's lifestyle, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset that permeates our lives and everyone we spend with it. But it's a good thing, right? It's one of the most exciting and most self-fulfilling, life-changing opportunities that really are left on this planet, right? It takes work, but boy, is it worth it. It doesn't matter if you want to be a doctor, attorney, athlete, engineer, singer, piano player, whatever. You're going to need to have extreme focus on developing the skills you need early in your career. But that won't last forever. If we're going to focus a considerable amount of our time in day trading, well, then we need to start adding other elements to make sure that the imbalance doesn't last more than a few months at a time. In other words, we can live with an obsession about the markets for a while. But if we don't start to achieve balance in our lives within a few months, we're going to suffer from burnout, both mentally and physically. To live a balanced lifestyle and feel satisfied with our lives, we need some work, we need some play, we need to, most importantly, develop spiritual and emotional connections and feel like we actually make a difference with people around us. It's one of the most unique parts of being human. Right? We feel better about ourselves when we have an impact in our environment around us. This is regardless of how much money we make. I can tell you from personal experience that it's easy to find yourself in a place where all of a sudden you realize that you don't spend any time away from your computer. You don't spend time being physically fit. You don't invest time in your relationships with family and friends, and you certainly don't experience any emotions that aren't related to trading. And the big one, this is a big one. This almost always leads to burnout. If the only time you feel good about yourself is when you're hitting profit targets, this is a recipe for disaster. We can make all the money in the world, but if we're in physical pain because we aren't taking time away from our desks seriously, or if we're in mental or psychological pain because we make all this money and we don't have anyone to share it with, we're going to start subconsciously sabotaging our own trading in the form of feeling burned out. You know, I have a mantra in my personal life, and I tell this to all my friends and family, and it says, a fortune is not worth a dime without a healthy body, spirit, and mind. A fortune's not worth a dime without a healthy body, spirit, and mind. I live my life according to that mantra, and I give you complete permission to use it for yourself as well. So, we've talked about 3 reasons why people feel like they should give up on their trading. We have unrealistic expectations. We ignore a changing marketplace. We suffer from burnout for many different reasons. And if you're feeling discouraged in your trading, I would recommend you think about which of these 3 problems you're probably suffering from. And it could be all 3 of them. It really could. Because once you know the problem, you can then take steps to fix it. First, if you're suffering from unrealistic expectations, as I said earlier, I would recommend you find a professional trading coach who has a proven trading strategy and can help you realign your expectations, your timeline, the pieces of the puzzle so you can be successful in this business. You can be successful in this business, but like I mentioned earlier, being a trader is like opening up a combination lock. You can't just know the numbers, you've got to have the right sequence of those numbers. Second, if you're suffering from a changing market, right, if the markets that used to make you money aren't making you money anymore, or if the setups you used to use aren't making you money anymore, your job is to first protect your capital by either extremely decreasing your position size or moving to a simulator. Then simplify your entry rules and your trade management rules and get back to the basics. Now, if you recall, I did a lesson recently on how to move from simulated to live trading. And in that lesson, I talked about the importance of keeping things simple, especially when it comes to entry rules and trade management. You know, if you're a professional athlete and you went through a slump, let's say you were a baseball player, right, and you weren't batting very well, you weren't playing very well in the field, the first thing the coach would do is say, let's get back to the basic fundamentals of playing baseball. That's what you want to do in your trading. Right? If your trade setups aren't working anymore, right, it's important to remember, get back to the basics. Okay, boil it down. What always works? What is working? So I would recommend, right, remember some of those setups are probably still working for you. So invest the time in your day each day to identify what's currently working for you and have the discipline to remove all those unreliable setups from your trading day. I would also recommend being open-minded to learning new trading strategies. You know, I can tell you from experience that what worked 5 years ago isn't working as well anymore, which is why it's so important to ignore all those old trading books and really all the old videos on YouTube, right? They may have worked back in the old days, but they're not working most likely in today's markets. It's also a good idea to make sure you work with a professional trading coach who has success in today's current marketplace. Now, third, if you're dealing with burnout, there are probably one of 2 aspects that's causing to your burnout. It's either your trading or it's your lifestyle. With regard to your trading, the most effective way to break through burnout or avoid burnout is to dial back your trading and focus on the most reliable setups. Anytime I find myself feeling burned out, I always try to trade only my best setups for at least a few weeks to get my confidence levels back up again. We've talked about how important positive mindset and confidence is in our trading, and kind of get that wind at my back, you know, get that momentum moving me forward again. Momentum is such a powerful force in everything we do. Trading is definitely no different. And if you don't have any reliable trade setups, if you're wondering, kind of scratching your head right now going, well, I don't have any reliable setups. Well, that's a really big red flag. Then you need to find a trading coach like myself, right, who can teach you the most reliable setups in today's markets for each individual market you want to trade. Now, in regards to your lifestyle, if you're burned out, the very first thing I would do is start a daily diet and daily fitness routine. Okay, the second thing I would do is donate an hour of your time twice a week to people who are less fortunate. And the third thing I would recommend is to make it a goal to start spending at least 2 hours every single week with a close friend or a close family member. The strategy to avoid burnout is pretty simple. You need to have goals. You need to have positive stuff outside of trading that will help push you through the times when trading becomes more challenging. In other words, I need to find ways to feel good about myself even if I lose money today. That's how you push through the hard times in any small business, right? Day trading included. Now, I know this time away from your desk will likely feel wasted at first, but trust me, if you don't feed your body, if you don't feed your mind, right? If you don't feed your soul outside of trading, you won't have anything to give to your trading career when you get back to your desk the following day. You got to fill yourself up. That way you can give it to your trading career, right? We need a strong body that's capable of doing the work. We need inspiration to keep us working hard for months at a time. And that inspiration rarely comes from our bank account. It comes from people around us. The feeling we get when we exercise, right? The feeling of breathing in fresh air, being outdoors, and knowing that although money is great, right, it's not everything in this life. It's necessary, but it's not everything. And once we add that balance back into our lives, our trading almost always improves dramatically. So hopefully today's lesson gives you some good insights on what might be causing you to feel discouraged, why you might have that feeling, right, like you want to give up, right, and some strategy on how to overcome that feeling so you can keep improving, keep getting closer to achieving your dreams of becoming a professional trader. Right, guys? Boy, a lot of great stuff in this video. Running out of time here today. I hope you found a ton of value in today's psychology lesson. And I would love to hear from you about additional topics that you might be struggling with as traders. Do me a favor. Drop me a comment below this video with any topics you'd like to see me cover in my next psychology video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Share this video with a friend. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I love you guys when you guys subscribe. And remember, it doesn't matter what markets we trade or the strategies we use, even the best traders battle with their emotions when there's money on the line. And don't forget, you can find me every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, working hard every day with our clients in our trade room. We get a great free trial on the homepage of schooloftrade.com. Check out my newsletter every evening, Monday through Thursday, on my blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. Enjoy my YouTube channel. Keep in touch. You can always reach me here in the office in Los Angeles. My name is Joseph. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.